For decades, it's been the stuff of speculation, of science fiction. But in just a few wild days, the conversation around UFOs has rocketed from the fringes right into the Oval Office. A sudden presidential order just blew this whole topic wide open. So we're going to break down exactly what happened and what it all could possibly mean.
Okay, let's just start right here. This is the social media post that kicked everything off. President Trump, saying there's strong public interest, has ordered a full-scale release of government files on aliens and UFOs. This is a move we've literally never seen before. But how we even got to this point, well, that story's just as wild as the order itself.
So, how did we get from quiet speculation to a full-blown presidential directive in less than a week? This wasn't some long, drawn-out policy debate. Nope, this was a rapid-fire series of public comments that just exploded.
It all kicked off on a Saturday with what seemed like a pretty casual comment from Barack Obama on a podcast. But by the next Thursday morning, President Trump is on Air Force One, accusing his predecessor of leaking classified information. And then, just a few hours later that same evening, boom, the bombshell order to release all the files. It was this crazy political whirlwind that turned a theoretical what-if into a national headline.
And that really gets us to the political heart of all this. Because before we can even begin to guess what's in these files, you have to understand the absolutely extraordinary public back and forth between two presidents that forced this whole thing into the open.
And wow, when you look at how they talked about this, it is night and day. Obama came at it from, a scientific angle, talking about the statistical odds in a universe as huge as ours. Trump, on the other hand, immediately pivoted. He turned it into a political attack and then claimed he didn't know if aliens were real or not. Just two totally different ways of dealing with the exact same topic.
And this right here, this is the quote that started the fire. Obama's on a podcast and he makes this kind of playful, off-the-cuff remark. Now, he did clarify it later on social media that he just meant it's probable there's life out there, based on statistics, not that he had some classified intel on alien visitors. But it didn't matter. That first comment was all it took.
And this was Trump's response when a reporter asked him about it on Air Force One. Just notice, he doesn't even touch the question of whether aliens exist. He immediately reframes the whole thing as a political jab, accusing Obama of mishandling state secrets. And it was this exchange that led directly to his decision, just hours later, to just release everything.
So that's the political drama. But it brings up a huge question, right? Beyond all the rivalry and the headlines, what does the U.S. government officially say it knows? To figure that out, we've got to look past the recent news cycle and turn to a really important intelligence document.
To really get to the bottom of that, you have to look at the official record. And that means we're turning to the most significant public assessment that's been released so far, which pretty much sets the baseline for everything that might be coming next.
And that record is the 2021 report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. This is the agency that oversees the entire U.S. intelligence community. Now, the government likes to use the term UAP, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. And this report was a landmark effort to pull together data, mostly from military pilots, to give policymakers a clear picture of what's actually going on up there.
And what they found is, well, it's pretty wild. Out of 144 incidents they looked at, they could positively identify only one. And it was just a deflating balloon, which they labeled airborne clutter. The rest? Totally unexplained. The report just sorts them into these vague potential categories. Maybe it's natural phenomena. Maybe it's secret U.S. tech or from a foreign country. Or there's this mysterious catch-all category they just call other.
So let's just let that sink in for a second. 143 cases. And look, these aren't just blurry photos somebody took in their backyard. These are largely reports from U.S. government sources, many of them witnessed by military pilots, that our own intelligence agencies are officially saying they cannot explain.
And inside those 143 mysteries, there are 18 incidents that really stand out. In these cases, observers reported these UAPs doing incredible things, like staying perfectly still in hurricane-force winds, moving against the wind, or making sudden, sharp turns in insane speeds, all with no visible way of doing it. No wings, no engines. This is the stuff that really stumps the experts.
So here's the crucial takeaway. After laying out all these unexplainable events, the official government conclusion is really cautious. They basically say the data is limited, reporting is all over the place, and so they can't really draw any firm conclusions. But what if that isn't the whole story?
Because while the official report is saying we don't have enough data, there are insiders who claim the exact opposite is true. They say the government knows a lot more than it's telling us.
And that brings us to the absolutely explosive testimony of a recent whistleblower.
This is a statement from Dylan Borland, a former Air Force intelligence specialist, and it just completely contradicts the official report's conclusion. He's not talking about limited data. He's claiming to have first-hand knowledge of craft and technologies that are not ours. I mean, that is a huge, huge claim.
So who is this guy Dylan Borland? Well, he's an insider with serious experience analyzing advanced aerial data. And here's the kicker. He didn't just post this on the internet. He has formally testified under oath to both the Inspector General and to AARO. That's the Pentagon Special Office created to investigate these very things. His credentials give his claims some serious weight.
And at the very heart of his testimony is something that happened to him personally back in 2012. He describes seeing this massive, silent, triangular craft. It flew within 100 feet of him, messed with his phone and other electronics, and then just shot straight up to jet altitude in seconds, with zero sound, no sonic boom, nothing. This is exactly the kind of first-hand account the official report says is so rare.
But his claims go way beyond just that one sighting. Borland alleges there's a secret UAP legacy crash retrieval program. And even more than that, he says that because he's coming forward, he and others have faced serious career retaliation. We're talking being professionally blacklisted from ever working in the intelligence community again.
So where does all this leave us? Well, right now we have three completely different and conflicting stories all playing out at the exact same time. The political one, the official one, and the whistleblower's account.
So you're left with these three parallel realities. On the political level, this whole topic has become a tool for grabbing public attention and, for presidential rivalry. Then you have the official government line, which is cautiously saying, hey, the data is limited and we can't be sure. And then you have the whistleblower, who's saying a secret program with non-human tech not only exists, but it's being actively covered up. And all of that leaves us with this final crucial question. When the official story is, we don't know, and the insider story is they're hiding it, what does the path to the actual truth even look like? With President Trump's new order, we might be about to find out. Or we might find that the mystery only gets deeper. The files are coming. The only question now is, what will they reveal?